Good day, everyone, and thanks for stopping by Ferg TV. We are getting ready to do or to view part 2 of repairing the laminate countertop in my buddy's camper, Woody. I just got done doing the editing on part 2, and geez, you're back. How about that? I guess I didn't bore the snot out of you in the first part. Oh, good for you. A lot of stick-to-itiveness on your part. Anyway, let's hop to the video, and I don't know, maybe you'll enjoy it. If you do, make sure you give it the old up yours. YouTube loves that sort of thing. Roll it. There's nobody to roll it. I'm the only one here. Back down in the trailer. Okay, we're going to put this on. Marks don't mean anything anymore. This is about lining everything up to look good. And I just want to stay against those pieces, but my marks no longer matter. So what we're going to do is put this where I think I like it the best. Then we're going to trace it. And I like it right there. And I'm going to trace it, and that is the line that I'm going to be routering to, actually plus a 16th, right? Because I got a bushing on there, a rub collar. So we're going to be right there, out a little bit more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut probably out around in here, all the way around with my jigsaw. Now, I told you earlier we're going to use a special blade. It's called a downward cut. And if you can see it there, you can see that well, let me use my pencil maybe. Let's put a light on the subject. This isn't going to cost anymore. There we go. That's what we need, a flashing light. Freak everybody out. All right, so you can see that the teeth are going downward. Now, the reason that we're going to use that on here is, as this cuts, it's going to cut down, not pull up and chip the laminate, or possibly chip it. So we're using that for that reason. Let's get this plugged in, because it's funny like that. It's got to have some electricity. And just happen to have a little hanging around right there. So, because I'm right-handed, my best bet is to cut this way. So at some point, I'm definitely going to block your view, but my view will be more important than yours. Well, why don't I do this? Why don't I move you? Let's put you over here. I hope I didn't make anybody throw up. Take a look at that. Let's see what we got here. Can we see? Yeah, not too bad. If we tilt it down a little bit, and we come in a touch, you can get the gist of it, right? Okay. And is this thing on? My God, it is. And I even have that on. Huh. A lot of times I forget these things. All right. So we're going to cut oversize, and the reason that we're doing that is I'm going to take the router after, run it on the template, but I don't want to take and run my router bit through all of this material. So by doing this, then I'm only taking off a small amount. Okay, now you know what I know. Okay. Jeez. All right, don't need that anymore. Beautiful. So we'll clean this now. We'll clamp this down. The main thing is now to get this thing clamped down good so we can run the router around it. And at some point, I'm probably going to have to stop and reclamp out here to be able to run the router the rest of the way. But we'll take a look at that. Probably want that right around in there, which is pretty much right on the line that I had there. Okay. So take this. I really should have gotten a couple more clamps, but I guess we don't need it. It's what the captain of the Titanic said. We'll be all set. Anybody need some ice for their drinks? All right, I'll put this out here because we got to start with the router and go this way. All right, that's clamped good. That's clamped good. Let's get our router. It's all going as planned so far. I should have brought down some ear protection. It's like I've never done this before. I think I'm actually going to go get some. It would make more sense. All right, make sure this thing is not on. We'll all die. Well, at least I will. All right, this is trigger one. Okay, and that's off. All right. Okay. Boom. And I'm going to go get some ear protection, or earring protection, and a couple more clamps. I'd feel better with it. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I got my hearing protection and 2 more clamps. I just feel better with it. Probably would have been all set, but who knows. All right, here we go. So this is the bit that we're going to use, which I should have told you. This is a spiral bit, so it's just better than using a straight cut because it cuts on an angle all the way around. So you're just taking minute amounts off every time it goes around instead of that blunt force when you do the straight cut. They cost more money, but they're much better, and it's the only thing you can use really on solid surface. So not that this is solid surface, this is laminate, but when I'm doing a solid surface top, which is next on in my shop. All right, here we go. Okay, now we'll just swap this down here. And I should be good till the end now. So you can see why I took that off, and now I'm only cutting this little bit instead of trying to go through that entire countertop. This is the ticket. Okay, here we go. I guess the dust has set off the alarm. It'll be all right. Okay, so we can unclamp this and take the template off. Hey. And we'll just do some fine sanding to get it in. So you can see why you needed a template made, because we ended up running, and we didn't use a guide bearing, I used the bushing. So that bushing right there is what ran around, and you can see the space between the bushing and the bit, and that's what's left right here. It's a heavy 1/16. It's not an 1/8, but it is more than a 1/16. All right, so now we're just going to take and do a little hand sanding, get it in where we're happy, and then we got to do one more thing, because if you noticed, we have a groove cut here and no groove out here. And I happen to have the bit that I believe we need to take care of that. So we won't need any templates or anything to do that. We'll just set this stuff out of the way. That stuff should be, we should be complete with it. And boy, Woody's wife's going to have some cleaning to do. And I guess I'm the cleaner. All right. Get this tape out of here. We're going to run our block sander over it, which I even remembered to bring down with me. Yeah, oh, that looks fantastic. Now this comes out a little bit. I might want to just bring that in and make it look better. You know, now that you see all of this, it's easier to see what was going on, but you couldn't see before. It was kind of running blind. But I'm just going to take that and blend it right in, which that's right here. This is a 120 grit block sander. All right, so you can see what I'm going to do here. Let me do all of that, and I'll come back and get you. Don't go anywhere. Okay, got this all sanded up nice. I'm going to take my file now and just kind of clean everything up on the edge here, including the old stuff, because of course they never did that. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. So we'll start right down here. You'll have to take my word for it that I am doing this, because you can't see around me. I should have a camera person, don't you think? Yeah, well. So what we're doing is we're taking that burr off the top that's created when you run the router on it, which is normal. But now we'll get rid of it. So when we put this edge banding back on, nosing, edge nosing, if it's down a little bit, you won't have any sharp edges. Nice. All right, I'm happy with that, and I'm my biggest critic, so that's a great thing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this router with this bit, and I hope it's the right size. I haven't checked it yet, but that's what we're going to do right now. And if we get that set up properly, and it is the right size, then we're just going to run it around. Okay. I'll let this thing down. Ugh. It does look like a possibility. If not, I have another bit up there that I can use. But let's see. So we got to let this down a little bit. So we're going to make an adjustment. We're going to loosen up the body and move this down. Tell you, it almost feels like it's a little smaller than that. Let it go down a little more. I really wouldn't mind doing a test on something first. So I think we might go right up into the shop, run a little test in a piece, and make my peace with it. All right, that's where I'm going. Luckily, I went up, checked it out on a piece of scrap. It was the wrong cutter. So I've got another cutter that's the right one. I had to swap it over, change bearings, get it all set up. I'm ready to go. So I've just tweaked it down here to get it to the right height, and we're ready to go. So that's what we're going to do. right, well, we set that off again. Oh my gosh. All right, all right. Jeez Louise. Yeah, it did get a little smoky in here. All right, well, at least that works. All right, well, I unplugged that thing. There. I just got to remember to put the battery back in there. It did get a little smoky in here, in all fairness. Now, did this stay running? Because it shut off on me earlier for whatever reason. And it's still running. So I don't know what happened. Okay, we are at the point where we're ready to take and fit our piece around. But we're going to clean up first. Get everything ready to go. Because now I'm going to be too long. So I've got to cut an end. That's what I'm going to have to do. And let's clean up. Okay, we now have a wet rag. I just need it in case I get some stuff that comes out. You know it will. You know it will. All right, so this is our translucent Venus seal that we're going to use. That'll dry clear. This thing here. I need it. It's a necessary evil. It's a pain in the buttski. Kind of like Joe Biden. Alright, so we're going to put some in here. I want it in the groove. And then I might go back and put a little bit on the top. Especially in this corner. Because this thing pulled itself out. It may do it again. I can't guarantee anything. But at least we can go one step further than it was before. And feel like we did something. So that's not filling that whole groove up by any means. It's just that it's not pushing down inside. But that's okay. That's all I want. I just want something in there. And that's good because now it'll push down inside, because the end of this material is kind of bobbed, I guess you'd call it. So it wants to go in and stay in, hopefully. All right. So you can see there's not an awful lot there. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a little bit at the top. And that's where we're going to get a little squeeze out probably. I don't know how much this will actually do because the thing is kind of contoured. It's not exactly flat. But I think whatever's there is going to be better than nothing. So we're going to make the corner here. And, oops, well, that's definitely going to need to be wiped up in aisle number 7. Alright. Kind of using my finger as a guide up on top. Easier said than done, but, you know, that tip wants to just go all over the place. So. And I don't want a lot there. I just want a little something that'll help to bind it up. And here in the corner, probably 3-4 inches out, I want to get this good, top and bottom. So I'd like to see that corner stay in. And when we put this in, I'm going to heat these areas that are a little bit of a concern. To me, anyway. I'm the only one that's concerned. Alright, come on now. You know, it's the end of the project. And it's starting to wear on you a little bit. Actually, everything went pretty well. It takes so long because it's not like you have all these tools sitting right here, right? You got to go up and get them. You got to do this again, do that again. I wanted to move this up in front of the shop. And then I said, it's a lot of work to do that. I don't think I have to do that. Instead, I made like 32 trips. It might be an exaggeration. It might have only been 31. All right, let's get this thing on. I got a rubber mallet. I got some tape. And then I got my heat gun. I have all the necessary weapons to take care of this. So this didn't fit well on this end down here or the other end. It was short on both sides. Now here's the thing. I'm so worried about getting this fit properly because I'm just used to doing things that way. It never fit properly to begin with. The groove isn't exactly where it needs to be. It's funny. It's funny, but it's not. And I get it. They're not building a house. You know. They're not building a house. It goes up and down the road and blah, blah, blah. How many times have you heard this sad story? Alright. Alright, that's good to there. Put a little wipe into it. And now I'm going to put some tape on it. And I'm going to do this as I go. And then I'm going to heat this corner, pull it in good. Man, what a plan. We'll see how it goes. Sorry about that. Probably made you throw up a little bit. But hey, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Alright, we don't need that piece. It's got dust and dirt. You need something, and you certainly can't clamp it. So this is the next best thing. And this is the reason that I used the translucent, because, man, am I glad I brought another roll. I didn't think I was going to make it. The reason I brought the translucent was because even though I pushed it in and it squeezed out, when you go and tape it, it squeezes out some more. And when that happens, you can't get behind the tape to wipe it. Now this translucent is going to dry clear. So it's just going to make a dark line that looks like everything else over here. And that's exactly what we want. Come on, baby. There we go. And we're on a roll again. Alright. So the way that I'm doing this is I'm putting pressure on here, making it adhere to this, and then pulling it over. So it pulls that top nice and tight. I'm probably putting too much tape. We're going to back off on that. I got too much. Oh, no, that's probably enough to do two. Okay. Beautiful. I'm loving it. Put you over here. Put a little light, because it is getting dark in here. I can hardly hear it, so dark. I gotta remember to put the smoke detector back together. That, you know, that bit that I was using isn't the newest bit I own. And so, it's a little dull. And then cutting particle board. Need I say more? Alright, now before I go any further, this is really looking good. I'm going to get some heat on this guy right here and pull it in. Now I don't want to heat just the corner. I want to, you know, heat up all around here and then push it into that corner. And then I'm hoping it's going to hold that form. And I'm going to do the same thing when we go around the outside corner. So I'm going to pull it right out and then push it in good into that corner. Let's do that. Best that we can. Oh man, if that stays, that is wonderful. I don't know if you can see that. But look at how good that went in by heating it. Now, they're never going to do this when they're putting these things together. I get that. They just jam it. rim it and jam it. I always say it's an insult to the Amish people when I hear these salespeople say it's all Amish craftsmanship. Yeah, I've said it a million times. I think the Amish are great craftsmen, but not when they're building these pieces of junk. There's no time. They don't have time to do anything. They don't allow them to, because it's all about making money and keeping the cost down. You wouldn't want to be paying $70,000 for this level camper, and that's what would happen. They would escalate cost all the time. So I certainly get it. So now when you go back in and you touch it, it's up to you now to do a little better job, because you're going to just spend a little more time on it, you know? And it's tough for me to work on this stuff because, you know, I do custom cabinets. And you're spending time getting it right. And a lot of times when you're working with these, they were never right to begin with, so it's not like you can put it back to where it was. You want it better than that. And we want it good over here, because this is the sink area. And water and particle board, it's like oil and water. It just doesn't mix well. So we know what happens there. But by putting this tape on and the adhesive behind it, I think we have half a chance. And that's all that I want. See, it's pulling out at the bottom. But we can tuck this around here. I couldn't do it on the other side. Good. All right, let's get a little heat on this. We'll make this corner. Just a little bit of heat goes a long way with these things, right? Put you down here. And, I mean, you do that with a laminate when you're rounding a corner. Sometimes it's a little tight, and so a little bit of patience, and you put some heat to it, and you can make the corner without breaking it. And isn't that what it's all about? Oh, man. That little bit of heat is like the answer. So, you know, I hope that you guys are picking up a few tidbits from this. I'm far from being the best cabinet maker out there or anything like that. I just know a few things that I've learned over the years. And if I can pass it along to you, cool. Absorb. Because until somebody told me, or I spent the time self-educating, I didn't know. But once you know, I think the biggest thing is sometimes we don't know if we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And if you actually know if you're doing it correctly, you have more confidence, and you go after it in a different frame of mind. You go, it's like, oh, I already know what to do. I know how to handle this. I think I'm going to come out here, put a piece out here to hold that in, and then I can work my way back. See, my light just went out on that camera. Everything is running out of juice, man. It's been a long day. Yeah. It's been a long day. But, you know, when you get done, if it looks like it never happened, well, I think you did a good job. That's all I can ask, is it looks like it was done correctly. Didn't know what it was before, but it looks pretty good now. And it's going to serve the purpose that they want, which is it was too tight for them to walk through here when the slide out is in. And this is all about, like, when you, because you're probably saying, too tight when the slide out's in, who goes in there? Well, when they're, you know, traveling, and you want to, put you around over here now. When you're traveling, and you're pulling in overnight, you don't want to put the slide outs out and all of that. You're just coming in to crash. And if you need to get inside here to get something out of the refrigerator, or you just can't. It's just, well, they could, but it was such a project that they asked me to do this, which makes sense. I mean, I would have done it if it was mine. It's just the thing to do. And then when you get someplace, you don't have a big problem getting in to get whatever it is out of the refrigerator. After a long day, it might be that cold glass of wine or a nice brewski. To each his own. But, oh, that just lays in there so stinking good. It doesn't want to stay there. That's why we're going to put tape on it. But you can bend the corner perfectly. Yeah. And some tape on there. Oh, man, it is looking good. Just really, I'm satisfied. And I am tough to satisfy when it comes to this kind of stuff. I always think, oh, I could have done better. Do the best you can. But we're getting it done. Yeah, that is like right on the money there as far as landing it where it belongs to in height. Okay, we'll get this up here. Oops. Get into a little adhesive there. Beautiful. Okay. Now this is going to be too long down here. We knew that. And I just got to figure out when is the time to cut it. Probably any time now would be good. Alright, so now we got to cut this thing. So, oops, I'm making you guys throw up. And this light won't stay on because it is running low on juice. So, I'm thinking we got to be somewheres in this vicinity. It's a good way to cut your hand off. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this, by the way. I'm just working my way down. Easy. Easy. It's coming. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. Probably a better way to cut that. Yeah, we ended up a little shy again. But that's where it was to begin with. So I kind of put it back the way it was. Yeah, I missed it. I guessed at it. Don't tell anybody. Especially Woody. Don't tell Woody. It's our little secret. Maybe not. It's not like anybody watches these videos. You know, my dream is, oh, it's lofty. I know you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but I'm hoping by the end of the year, and it's like, it's almost the first day of November. So we're getting close. There's not a lot of days left to the first of the year. Maybe I'll be up to, I don't know, maybe like 25 or 30 subscribers. I know, it's a lot. But hey, a man can hope. Here's the wishing and hoping. Maybe if you subscribe, you know, if you're getting a little something out of this, even if it's just a giggle, you know, why can't we have fun while we're learning? I think we can. I think we can. For me, it breaks the tension. So, it's as simple as that. Yeah, ended up a little short there. Yeah, about 1/8 of an inch. I'll put some cork in it. Actually, I'm going to cut a little piece and stick it in there. And if nobody tells Woody or his wife, they'll never know. Again, our little secret. I'm going to put some heat to that and push that in. I don't know if you can see what's going on right here. Oops. And get that in a little bit. I'm going to cut a little piece and stick it in there. Not as hot as it sounds. Coming up on the end of this. I'm almost done. This is all on all around here. And by heating it, my wife is here inspecting, so I'm going to see if I pass the inspection or not. It looks good. She's giving me the old thumbs up, which might be something you might want to do about now. You know, take a second and go give it what I call the old up yours, because YouTube really likes that kind of thing. I don't know what it is about it, but they think if everybody gives it the old up yours, that it's like a fantastic thing. Everybody's gonna love this video because there's more of the people with their thumb up in the air. So do it. Just do it. Okay. This is laying right in there. Now be honest, did you learn anything on this? Did you pick up a little tidbit? Something, I don't know, how to put this edging on, or how to cut the laminate back, the countertop. Are you ever going to use it? I don't know. Nobody knows when they're going to use something down the road. It just happens, and you go, oh boy, now I know how to do that. Like I said, I didn't know how to do all of these things until either somebody taught me, or I self-taught myself. All right, we're going to cut a little piece off of here, stick it in there, and wow. So that one got cut off right there. Cut a little piece off of that right out here. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I got my little piece cut off. Is it going to fit? Or is in it? Oh man, that is going to go. Don't tell anybody that I did this. Don't tell anybody, and nobody will know. I can guarantee it. I'm not even going to publish this video now because I don't want anybody to know I screwed up. Is it really a screw up if you can fix it? You know what I've always said? What makes you a good cabinet maker? How good you are at fixing your mistakes so nobody knows you made them. You think about that. You know, if you're a long ways into a project and you have a little glitch, but you can fix it and it's good as new, you're not going to start the whole project over, are you? And then if nobody knows and nobody sees it, I don't know. I think it's the thing to do. All right, clean this up with a little water here. Let's see, I want that to roll up a little bit right up there. Oh boy. Okay. And that isn't going anywhere because that adhesive is going to take over. So let me let you look at that. I'm in the light. What does that look like? I think it's satisfactory. That's what I think. All right. Well, I think we're done here. All I'm going to do is clean up. And here's the finished product. Corners are staying in. They don't. I mean, you can't see them great right now because it's tape on it and you got a glare. But I can see it good. And everything is staying in perfectly. Just where you want it. What do we got right here? No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Well, hey, thanks for joining me. And, well, if you get a minute and you got enough left in you, I don't know how you made it this far in the video to begin with, but if you're still with me, give it the old up yours and maybe hit the old subscribe button. You know I'm kidding, but thank you for joining me, and, hey, I'll see you on the next one.